Can I confirm the audio and live streaming is on? All good, thank you. Welcome elected members, officers and members of the public. I declare this ordinary council meeting of the Shire of Broome open at 5 p.m. Welcome, Councillor Mahmood. Just on time. Could I ask those in the public gallery to now switch off their mobile telephones and electronic devices in accordance with the conditions of entry to the Council Chambers Public Gallery. In accordance with Regulation 14I of the Local Government Administration Regulations 1996, this meeting is being audio and video recorded and live streamed on the Shire's website. Under Clause 6.16 of the Shire's Meeting Procedures Local Law 2020, I do not give permission for any other person to record the proceedings of this meeting. By being present at this meeting, members of the public consent to the possibility that their image and voice may be live streamed to the public. Recordings are also made available on the Shire's website following the meeting. Please note that any items discussed behind closed doors will not be live streamed. However, once the meeting is open again to the public, live streaming will recommence. To ensure the live streaming volume is maintained, councillors, please remember to turn your microphone on prior to speaking and speak clearly and directly into the microphone. Once you have finished speaking, please turn your microphone off. Point 2, attendance and apologies. Councillor Smith is an approved leave of absence. Councillor Mao requested and has been granted approval to attend this meeting electronically via Microsoft Teams in accordance with Administration Regulation 14CA and 14C5. Councillor Mao, as per the Administration Regulation 14CA5, can you please confirm that you can maintain confidentiality during the meeting, including during any closed part of the meeting?
Yes, I can, President. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Mao. Item 3, announcements by presidents. There is none. Item 4, declarations of interest. We have financial interests from Councillor Cooper under item 14.1, which is the LSS 035 request for abatement of rent. Nature of interest is the applicant is a client of his business. Councillor Virgo has a financial interest in the same item, and the lessee are a financial member of the Broome Visitor Centre, of which Councillor Virgo is the General Manager, and Councillor Taylor has a financial interest in the same item, 14.1, and the nature of the financial interest is that the applicant is a client of his... Oh, hang on, sorry, wrong. Yeah, there's two. The financial interest from Councillor Taylor is he's employed by a company that has an exclusive agreement to provide certain services in Broome to a company that may or may not benefit directly from any decision made by council relating to this item. So thank you, Councillor Taylor.
Sorry, apology, Chair. Just the item that was relevant to was agenda item 9.11, the Broome Housing Affordability Issues and Advocacy Report.
Sorry, going well. Yeah, so I need to amend that one to, agenda item 9.1.1, Broome Housing Affordability Issues and Advocacy Report. Okay, thanks. Okay, there's no indirect financial interests, no proximity interests, and no impartiality interests. No other interests? No from councillors? No. Okay. Item 5, public question time. There are guidelines that need to be adhered to in our councillor meetings. During public question time, people speaking are not to personalise any questions about elected members or staff or use any possible defamatory remarks. In accordance with Clause 6.17 of our Meeting Procedures Local Law 2020, a person addressing the council shall extend due courtesy and respect to the council and the processes under which it operates, and shall comply with any direction by myself as the presiding member. A person present at or observing a meeting shall not create a disturbance at the meeting by interrupting or interfering with the proceedings, whether by expressing approval or dissent, by conversing or by any other means. A minimum of 15 minutes will be allocated for public question time. Each member of the public is entitled to ask up to 2 questions before other members of the public will be invited to ask their questions. A reminder that public question time is an opportunity to ask questions, not to make statements. Can I remind the public that public questions are to be submitted no later than 12 noon on the day of the council meeting. If you have several questions you wish to submit, please provide these in advance of the deadline to give officers sufficient time to respond. Sylvia Kadrabova submitted a question prior to the meeting. Sylvia, would you like to come forward and ask your question? Thank you.
Good afternoon. My question is regarding the proposed McMahon Estate project, and it's regarding transport impact assessment. And I would like to better understand the timing of the traffic counts on Reed Road in 2024. Why were those traffic counts conducted in August for the section of north of Hay Road, and in December for the section south of Mangala Drive? Do I read
Did
the
you
whole?
want to, yeah, if you want to continue with your section,
Okay.
that's only the one question there, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
As noted in one of the HR's comments, it is considered primarily residential. Additionally, Benue Avenue represents a significant road link to Ganthiam Beach, Broome Turf Club and Mini Park. It is frequently used by locals, tourists and residents from neighbouring area that lacks direct link to Gabbinge Road, for example, Sibosado Road, Bin Salik and Woods Drive. The nearby service station and grocery shop are also popular with both tourists and locals. The report indicates that traffic volumes generated from the development will be below 100 vehicles per hour during peak hour. However, I found this estimate to be potentially non-objective given the context described above. Means the December count.
Thank you. I'll get the Director of Development and Community to respond to your question.
Hi Sylvia, thanks for your question. The Shire owns a number of the traffic counters that we actually use around the Shire of Broome, and periodically we obviously collect data for traffic for a number of reasons. And as it happened, there was some existing data or traffic data that was collected from a previous Shire collection that was occurring in August of 2024, and that was supplied to the traffic consultant that was actually preparing the documentation for the structure plan. The traffic consultant then reviewed the concept plan for the street layout, which was then also obviously developed following community consultation and the requested additional data. Now that information was subsequently collected in December 2024. So there was the data of August and data in December 2024. The use of the terminology, I think you were referring to primarily residential, that doesn't exclude secondary uses like tourism. So the traffic impact study has confirmed that the roundabout has extensive latent capacity and that the proposed development would not cause increases to the capacity such that it would be an unacceptable service reduction. So the traffic consultant has also further confirmed that the December 2024 volumes, if they were to be tripled on the road network, it would still remain an effective level of service.
Okay, thank you for your question.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Are there any other public questions from members of the public? If not, I'll declare public question time is now closed. Item 6, applications for leave of absence. There's one application that Councillor grant Councillor Lewis a leave of absence from councillor duties inclusive of 31 August 2025 through to 19 October 2025. Do I have someone moving that? Thanks, Councillor Matsumoto and Councillor Virgo, second. Any dissent? That is carried unanimously. Thank you. Item 7, confirmation of minutes. So the minutes of the ordinary meeting of council held 31 July 2025 as published and circulated be confirmed as a true and accurate record of that meeting. Do I have a Councillor Virgo moving, Councillor Matsumoto seconding? Any dissent? If not, that is carried. Thank you. Item 8, presentations, petitions and deputations. There are none. Item 9, reports of officers. Item 9.1.1, the Broome Housing Affordability Issues and Advocacy Report. The Director of Development Community advises that the report recommendation has been amended following the agenda briefing, and Councillor Taylor has declared an impartiality, actually a financial interest, sorry, has declared a financial interest in item 9.1.1. The reason being he's employed by a company that has an exclusive agreement to provide certain services in Broome to a company that may or may not benefit directly from any decision made by council relating to this item. And Councillor Taylor has left the room. Councillors, there is a report recommendation there, but I might ask the Director of Development and Community if they wish to speak to the amendments, alterations, or if you want to.
Through the chair. Yes, just with the recommendation, obviously there was some updated changes to essentially reflect that the report also seeks to do some advocacy for Department of Housing tenants where under a certain threshold for income that there's advocacy to ensure that there's a transition for those households that when they meet a particular threshold that they can also still remain in supported housing.
Thank you. Thank you. Councillors, do I have any direction? There's a report recommendation there. Councillor Cooper, are you moving the report recommendation? Thank you. Do I have a seconder? I think I saw Councillor Matsumoto's hand first. Sorry. Thank you. Any clarification? Councillor Mail, any clarification on this item?
No, I'm all good with the updated recommendation, thanks.
Okay. So if there's no dissent, I'll declare this motion carried unanimously. Thank you. Moving on. Oh, yeah, Councillor Taylor, sorry. Yep. Thanks, Councillor Taylor. That council report recommendation was carried unanimously. Item 9.1.2, the art collection policy on page 104. The Director of Development and Community advises that the attachment has been amended following the agenda briefing. This has been circulated to councillors prior to the meeting. Do I have any direction from councillors? Councillor Lewis.
I have an amendment to that, which is on the screen. An addition.
I think you need to read your amendment aloud.
It's point 2, that council requests the Chief Executive Officer to undertake further investigations into loaning art from the Shire's art collection to external parties and to bring this back to council as part of a 12-month review of the policy. And
did you read point 1 out?
No, that was already there. The point 1 says adopt the art collection policy. That's attachment 1.
So that's your motion. Okay, thank you. Councillor, do we have a seconder to that motion? Councillor Mahmood, thank you. Is there any speakers against the motion? Do I need reasons for the motion? No, not really. No. Okay, there's no dissent, so you don't get the chance of a reply. Thank you. It's moved.
Probably worth just clarifying the reason is aligned.
Okay, so the reason for that amendment is that it would capture the revenue opportunities and risks, the process to follow, and staff and other resourcing requirements. Is that correct? Thank you. Okay. Item 9.1.3, the youth plan on page 120, and I'd like to sincerely thank staff, the community and stakeholders for their massive efforts in this policy. So, or plan, I should say. So do I have any direction from council? Councillor Virgo moving, Councillor Taylor seconding. Any clarification? Any dissent? If not, I'll declare that carried unanimously. Thank you. Item 9.1.4, the Community Safety Plan. And again, I'd like to sincerely thank staff, the community and the stakeholders for their input into this document as well. Councillors, do I have any direction? Councillor Taylor moving, Councillor Virgo seconding. Any clarification? Any dissent? If not, that plan is carried unanimously. Thank you. Moving on, 9.2.1, McMahon Estate Local Structure Plan, consideration of submissions and adoption, page 193. And again, does the Director of Community Development Committee wish to update?
Through the chair, there has been some minor administrative modifications to the McMahon structure plan which have been outlined, and that's essentially in the table of the schedule of modifications. Yeah.
Thank you. Do I have any direction from council on this item? Councillor, clarification, councillors?
Just to follow up on the question that came from the lady on the floor about the data, traffic data. Your answer was, you know, it doesn't really matter because it's not nearly enough to warrant a change. I'm wondering where the consultant came from and who decides what is enough. You know, we're not in Perth. We shouldn't be using Perth accepted data for what is enough and what isn't enough. So how did that come about?
From what essentially with the data that the consultant used was looking at traffic volumes and the capacity of the road network, and essentially the what we call the latent capacity of that actual road network can actually accommodate those traffic volumes. Whether it's in Perth or whether it's in Broome, the road network has actually been designed to cater to a particular volume of traffic, and the consultant, obviously an engineering consultant who's well qualified in that regard, has basically looked at those volumes and assessed that that existing traffic network can actually accommodate those future volumes.
So does that mean there will be no tailbacks like there is on Frederick Street, or it doesn't matter if there are tailbacks, or it's what I don't quite understand how traffic volumes, you know, what's okay and what's not okay.
Sorry, councillor, what's a tailback?
Where there's a big queue of people waiting at a roundabout trying to come out. That's what I call a tailback. Maybe
Okay.
that's an English expression.
Oh, okay.
Banking up of traffic.
Yes, okay, banked up.
As I've said, the consultant looked at the network. There's already latent capacity within that network, even to add those additional volumes. It's not identifying that that road network would cause problems with traffic congestion. So with the volumes that have been predicted, I think they even tripled the amount of volumes that were identified in December. Putting that on the actual road network, the network is sufficient to cater for that growth.
Okay.
It's interesting because I lived on Reed Road in when did I move? Anyway, I left Reed Road because on a Sunday afternoon I was counting a car every minute, $60 an hour, 60 cars an hour going backwards and forwards.
Okay.
I'm just, you know, this is a report that we've just got to accept without quite understanding where it's coming from.
The report,
that's my
councillor Lewis, the report has been written by
a consultant.
an engineer.
Yes.
Consultant, yeah.
They are qualified engineers and they use standard with the traffic volumes. They're standards that are accepted across.
I think that was my original question, though. You know, how they decide what's right. Okay, I give up.
Do I have direction from council on this one? Councillor Virgo moving, Councillor Taylor seconding. Any further clarification? Any dissent? Desiree, Councillor Mail, are you happy?
I'm fully in favour of the motion, thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Councillor Mail. All right, moving on. That's carried unanimously. Item 9.2.2, Broome Waste Action Plan 21-25 Progress Report, page 275. Do I have direction? Councillor Cooper moving, Councillor Virgo seconding. Clarification, councillors?
I'm going to ask the same questions I asked on Tuesday, so they're on the record. Whether the illegal litter and illegal dumping plan is for the town site or for the Shire, for the whole Shire. I know the answer, but for the record, can you please say it again?
Director of Infrastructure?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Yeah, it'll include the Shire of Broome. Yeah, but it's harder to get data outside of the town site, but it will include the Shire of Broome.
And my second was, how is the baseline data being collected for that plan?
Yeah, thank you. Through a combination of methods, either from our internal staff finding and reporting it to us and us recording it through customer service requests, or if we were to go out and do targeted inspections, which we did a few years ago, and predominantly found green waste actually, which is free for disposal, but it was the one that we found dumped the most, interestingly. Yeah, so through those methods, not through an audit per se, but through feedback and collation.
And can the public contribute to that gathering of baseline data?
Yeah, they certainly can. Yeah, so we have pretty established relationships with DBCA and people like that manage the conservation estate, and we work with them. Actually provide a fee reduction for them for waste that's disposed of on the conservation estate as well. Yeah, so we can receive data from them. Anyone can ring up and we can record that as a customer service request and log it, which means we've got a date, time, location, capture photos as well, for example.
Great, thank you very much.
Thank you. So we've got a mover and a seconder. Any further clarification? Any dissent? All those in, Councillor Mail, are you in favour?
I'm in favour, thank you.
It's carried unanimously. Thank you. Item 9.2.3, Frederick Street Precinct, proposed road naming, page 292. There's a report recommendation. Do I have direction from council? Councillor Virgo moving, Councillor Taylor seconding. Any clarification? Any dissent? There is none, so I'll declare that one carried unanimously. Thank you. Moving on to performance, 9.4.1, Council Policy Review, End of Year Closure, Purchasing and CEO Performance Review, page 298. There's a report recommendation there. Do I have direction from Council? Councillor Virgo moving, Councillor Cooper seconding. Any clarification? Any? Councillor Lewis?
Just a clarification on the end of year closure. How was it decided that 18 days rather than 14 days, I think it was the right thing to do?
I'll pass that one on to Director, Corporate Services.
Thanks through the chair. We previously had 16 days. When we have utilised the policy the past couple of years, we've been taking usage stats, front counter statistics for visitors and also phone calls over the period. The intent was to try and monitor the impact on the community of the closure, and we came to the conclusion that we were rarely seeing visitors. The numbers are really low over that period. A lot of people, as you would understand, aren't in town or on holidays elsewhere post-Christmas, New Year's. So just looking at the way the Christmas holidays fell this year, with the Christmas Day and New Year's Day being a Thursday, Friday, subsequently when the 16 days was used, you were coming back to work for 2 days before going to the weekend. So additionally, we've been advised over a number of years by our auditors that we do have a significant leave liability with staff. So in simple terms, staff have a lot of leave accumulated, and that's a financial burden for the Shire when that leave's taken. So we felt it was a good opportunity to extend the time period. It allows staff who work in really small teams to also be able to go away for a period without having to worry about covering. So we've got a lot of teams with, one, but 2 or 3 or 4 people, when one person's away, they have to make sure that there's adequate coverage there to respond to phone calls and customer requests. So it just provides a bit more time for staff to go away without everyone having to cover for each other and provide that skeleton cover. So that's the main rationale behind the changes.
Thanks, Director. If there's no further clarification, is there any dissent on this item? I declare that one carried unanimously. Item 9.4.2, monthly payment listing, July 2025, page 328. There's a report recommendation. Do I have Councillor Virgo, Councillor Cooper? Thank you. Seconding. Any clarification? Any dissent? I'll declare that one carried unanimously. Item 9.4.3, monthly financial report, July 2025, page 347. There's a report recommendation there. Do I have direction from Council? Councillor Virgo, Councillor Taylor. Any dissent? Declare that one carried unanimously. Thank you. Item 10, reports of committees. There are none. Item 11, notices of motion with notice. There are none. Item 12, notices of motion without notice. There is none. Item 13, business of an urgent nature. There is none. Item 14, meeting closed to the public. In accordance with clause 6.22 of our meeting procedures local law, I'd like to move a motion from the chair to close this part of the meeting to the public. Do I have a seconder? Councillor Virgo, thank you. Oh, behind closed door. Okay, sorry. Oh. Councillors, please note that live streaming will now recommence. Officers, can I confirm that live streaming has recommenced? Thank you. Okay. In relation to item 14.1, the report recommendation was endorsed with an absolute majority that Council authorises the Chief Executive Officer to provide abatement of rent in accordance with the recommendation contained within the confidential attachment LSS 035, abatement of rent assessment. And in relation to 14.2, RFQ 2514, supply and delivery of one landfill compactor, the report recommendation was approved by absolute majority, and that Council note the recommendation in the evaluation report for RFQ 2514, supply and delivery of one landfill compactor as presented in attachment 1. 2, accepts the quotation provided by Tana Australia Proprietary Limited as the most advantageous respondent from which to form a contract after final contract negotiations. 3, authorises the Chief Executive Officer to negotiate and sign the contract documentation following final contract negotiations and the appropriate financial due diligence, and negotiate contract variations during the works project if necessary. Thank you. Item 15, meeting closure. There being no further business, I declare the meeting closed at 5:34 p.m. Can I please confirm the audio and recording has ended?